Hey there and welcome back to Sims Sunday. My name is Pete and today we complete a very special episode number 20 of this completionist playthrough of The Sims 3. And we have a few things in store, mainly for Ayesha today. Just like Pete did a while ago, she will change jobs in this episode, and she only needs one more discovery of a star to earn the Celestial Explorer skill challenge. So with her being the first one awake, let's get to it. In the meantime, Paul has also gotten up and he will continue to write his science fiction novel. There are still a few hours left before school starts, so let's use that time effectively. He also has the wish to get an easel, so let's quickly head into buy mode and fulfill him that. Wonderful, and now with the wish to paint, we can stop him writing and have him start painting. Thanks to a few books he has read as a toddler, he will start the skill at level 3, and here is another wish fulfilled, which is the signal for us to stop and switch to something else. A good breakfast is always advisable before school, so Paul will start the day off with some cake. In the meantime, Pete has already taken a shower and will now go to work. He will work hard and will most likely get another promotion today. At least at this point, reaching level 10 of the military career seems absolutely possible for him. Paul has finished his breakfast and he will now get back to writing. A tad bit later, there is just little under an hour left until the school bus arrives, and Paul's fun bar is not exactly looking bright, so we will have him switch to playing computer games. And there it is, Celestial Object number 20 for Ayesha, and that should complete the Celestial Explorer skill challenge. That means finally no more searching the galaxy for her, we can now focus on other things. For now though, let's send her off to work a bit early and build an independent case there. And here is the school bus for Paul. He has gained quite a noticeable amount of fun and can now go off to school where he will put in normal effort. He will likely end up with an A grade by the end of today anyway, so putting in the extra work is really not necessary. And now a bit of a time jump here, switching over to 1 PM to the end of Ayesha's day at the police station. Nothing happened for any of our Sims in the entire morning, so we can now watch Ayesha with over 2,000 simoleons more in her pocket, and she will now go over and raid the criminal hideout in the warehouse. We haven't done that in a while and it's always a nice source of cash. Then we are confronted with another opportunity for Paul to drop off some permission slips in exchange for increased school performance. Like I already said, we are on a good way to reach A grades with him today anyway, and we could better use the time writing or painting. So we will decline that and then watch the end of the shift for Pete, who already makes decent money for us, and also gets the expected promotion here. That also fulfills his wish to reach career level 5 in the military career, and we get another boost of 750 lifetime happiness points. Back at home, Pete will continue to upgrade the TV that he started working on in the last episode, while simultaneously Ayesha finishes raiding the criminal hideout, gets 1,500 simoleons for that, and Paul's day at school ends. Paul will head home to take a shower and he will then continue to write his novel. Ayesha, on the other hand, will do what I quickly spoke about in the beginning of the video. She will change careers. To be more precise, she will join the medical career. This one only requires the logic skill and to read a book here and there, so it fits her skill set nicely. I thought about the forensic analyst in the law enforcement career, but that would require us to pick up painting, and that might put additional stress on her while she's trying to complete the logic skill. So after experiencing everything there is in the special agent career branch of the law enforcement career, Ayesha is now officially employed in the medical career. Congratulations. Back at home, Ayesha will fulfill a wish that we have stored up for a while now, and that is to train Pete. Wonderful, with that wish fulfilled we can also promise her to work from home, which we will get onto next. After his quick workout, Pete has gone back to upgrading the TV, Paul is at the fridge grabbing another slice of cake for lunch, and here is Ayesha's wish to work from home fulfilled. Paul and Ayesha will now do Paul's homework together, because Ayesha really has nothing better to do and it will help their relationship. Alright, that is a quick session of homework completed. Ayesha will now grab something to eat, while we can take a closer look at Paul's outfit. Paul is currently wearing this. And no offense, but I think we can do better. And here's what I came up with. I agree that this also doesn't scream genius or illustrious author at me, but I am convinced it's much better looking than what he had previously. I also equipped him with glasses, just because I think it looks a bit better. Then we can quickly also have a look at his new formal outfit. The previous one looked everything but formal. His sleepwear has remained the same. I have changed him to be a complete baller in his athletic outfit. And his swimwear, not much to see here. Alright, back at it then, Paul will continue to write his novel, and here is Pete, who has just finished upgrading the TV. He has now all but one unique upgrade completed, and that last one is a bit of a pain to get, because it's on the teleporter and that one requires 75,000 lifetime happiness points to acquire. We'll get there eventually, probably with Ayesha, but for the moment we can focus on other things with Pete. So after a nice slice of cake for dinner, we will take Ayesha and have her begin tutoring Pete in the logic skill, and this serves two purposes. More important for Ayesha, there is a skill challenge associated with tutoring, which will be unlocked after 30 hours of doing so. As for Pete, we can hopefully max out the logic skill this way and grab the Renaissance Sim lifetime wish. That would require us to max out 3 skills, we already have 2, so only 1 more is needed. And getting tutored in skills actually raises them reasonably fast. Case in point, here is Pete already at level 1 of the logic skill. For now, that's all we want. Ayesha can now do the dishes, and inspired by Paul, we can now do a little bit of an outfit overhaul for Pete. Because this right here, this is the outfit that Pete has been wearing since day 1 when we started this series. Since then, he has become a superstar athlete and is now rather successful in the military career. So his new outfit, which you can see right here, tries to improve a bit on reflecting style and status for him. Not too much, we are still living in something that is supposed to be a garage down the line, but maybe just a tiny bit more presentable. Switching over to Paul now, writing novels drops the fun bar significantly, so let's have him take a break from that and switch over to another creative activity and continue his painting. And for the remainder of the evening for Pete and Ayesha, it's back to tutoring. That is skill level 2, congratulations, and I think that really is enough for today. We can now have both of them go to bed. Or can we? I mean, with Paul outside. So, Ayesha and Pete have improved their relationship a bit, unbeknownst to Paul, who has continued painting outside, and he has now finished his very first painting, valued at 13 simoleons. And while Paul goes to bed, that first painting is of course always special, so for now let's put it up next to his bed. And then we can skip ahead to the next morning. The next morning is here, and Pete will start his day with a quick shower. Just a few moments later, Ayesha is up as well, and she will get the mail for us. Inside we find a certificate for Pete that he receives for reaching level 10 in the handiness skill. Let's put that up next to Ayesha's and Pete's bed, and then we can have Pete invite his boss Aaron Kennedy over. And to get Pete's relationship with his boss a little higher, sure, let's have him play under the sprinkler. A bit of talk about the military afterwards, and things are looking quite alright. A little later, Paul has once again had cake for breakfast. He will now continue to write his novel, and Ayesha can once again begin tutoring Pete in the logic skill. Then we get an interesting opportunity for Pete, allowing us to reanimate the ghost of a deceased person. For now, nobody of importance has died yet, but we will accept and keep that just in case. Just a little while later, Pete reaches level 3 of the logic skill, and that is not enough for today. Remember, Ayesha unlocks the skill challenge after 30 hours, and we are still far away from that. All the writing is making Paul a bit stressed out, and as we quit writing for the moment, his writing skill level improves. He is now at level 4, and that also fulfills a wish of his. It also opens a slot for another one, so we can now promise him to read a total of 12 books and get started on that with a book of Ayesha immediately. I admit I have no idea where the first 10 books came from, maybe just from reading them in school. While Paul is busy reading, Pete improves his logic skill to level 4. And then, shortly after Paul is done as well, his fun bar looks much better and he can get back to his novel. Paul also has enough lifetime happiness points to grab his first and, in my opinion, one of the most essential lifetime rewards, which is Steel Bladder. Alright, Paul has finished his first novel, a science fiction novel worth 6 royalty payments of 102 simoleons. And with one finished book under his belt, let's get back to paintings and start our second one there. We will have him do small paintings for now, because there is a skill challenge for a total number of paintings, and small ones are the fastest. Once he has that skill challenge completed, which allows him to complete paintings much faster, we can then focus on large paintings. Alright, Pete has now made it to logic level 5, and roughly 2 hours later, Paul has finished his second painting. This one worth just a tiny bit more than the first one, but for now we won't sell anything and just put it up on the wall next to the other one. Paul will now grab something to eat, and for a change that's not cake, but a quick meal. Then we get a skill opportunity for Ayesha, and with both her and Pete now in careers that don't pay as much as their previous ones did, we could definitely use the cash prize for winning this one. So let's stop our tutoring session and send Ayesha off to the stadium. After taking a shower, Paul will now read another book. This one belongs to Pete and should be number 12, fulfilling another wish for him. In the meantime, Pete is working from home. He had the wish to do so and has already fulfilled that, but let's keep him there for just a little while longer to make some money. Alright, Paul has finished reading his book. That is 1000 lifetime happiness points for the fulfilled wish, and he will now take Pete's place in front of the computer and write a new science fiction novel. Alright, looks like we send Ayesha off for nothing. We didn't win, so no cash prize for us. And the athletic skill boost doesn't go anywhere, we have already maxed that one out. After a bit of a disappointing end to the day, Ayesha will go straight to bed after coming home. Once again, the youngest in the household stays up the latest, but even our little genius grows tired at one point, and so after submitting a few chapters of his latest book, Paul will go to bed as well. And with that, we can make a cut in today's episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.